I'm Tisha.
I'm Loren.
And this is the Open Booked Podcast. Today we are talking about Colleen Hoover's Slammed series and Confess.
Yes, exciting to continue on our CoHo extravaganza. We're getting close.
We found out this week that our theater, the one that we love, was chosen as one of the early release recipients. So we got our tickets and we get to watch the movie on August 7th versus August 9th. So that's super exciting.
Yes. I saw that it was limited and I'm like, of all the theaters in the country,
right?
Our little one got
right? I was like, not Pinnacle, not Fayetteville, like IMAX. I mean, I'm glad because I would not like to drive all that way. I mean, I would do it, but I'm glad.
We would do it.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
So we are 17 days away today, but by Friday when this is posted, we'll be like 12 days away.
Close. Maybe. Sneaking up.
Yes.
And there was a new trailer a couple days ago. And then I
showed Jeremy last night.
We need to get the boys up to speed. All Jesse knows is it's Blake Lively and then the dude who plays Spencer Dutton on 1923. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. There was also something on Instagram yesterday that showed you like a little more of Atlas. I think I sent it to you.
Oh yeah, I watched it this morning.
Where he brought all the food, and I'm like,
yes,
so excited. Yeah.
So what are you reading right now?
I'm with the rereads. I decided not to partake this week to try to get some other reading caught up, but my situation at work is I'm training someone, so I don't have nearly as much time. I'm thankful for the help, but I don't have nearly as much time to read, so I'm still in Bridgerton. And I'm ready to be out of the Bridgertons, but you know, we're making it. I may have to pause, read something else, come back. What about you?
Yeah, I feel like when I get in like a long series like that, like I almost have to take a break in between books because I feel like if I don't, I get kind of bored with it or just like, when is it ever going to end? So that's nice.
Yes.
Take a little break. I reread all 4 of the books that we're talking about, and then I finished Creep by Jennifer Hillier and started Freak, which is the second in that series. And it's pretty good. I love Jennifer Hillier's writing style and the kind of murder mystery, like whodunit. So I like it.
I liked those. I think I went on this Jennifer Hillier like tear when I first got Everend because all of her stuff's on there for free. And I definitely enjoyed those too. I think I gave them really good reviews.
Yeah, I like that it's not super predictable. Like you can kind of guess or estimate what's going to happen, but she will throw a twist in there that keeps it interesting.
Oh yeah, always keeps you on your toes and is not afraid to put some fucked up shit in books. Let's be real. Jar of Hearts.
Yeah,
was a good post-Verity read. That's what I was looking for when I read that one. She's a great author.
So we're still doing our giveaway. It does not close until August 9th, which is movie like release day. And then a winner will be announced on Instagram in our stories August 10th at noon. So we are giving away a reading journal, a Colleen Hoover bookworm box, bookmark and sticker from her store that is now shut down. So these are kind of collector items. Just kind of in celebration of hitting 1,500, 1,000 followers, and then the movie coming out. We are going to do another one once we hit 2,000, which I just checked, and we're at like 1,806 right now. So that's exciting. We might hit that by end of week or sometime next week. So we'll announce that giveaway then. But you can enter both of them on our website, open-booked.com, or go to our Instagram page and get all of the details there.
Yes, we love giveaways. We've won a couple.
Yeah.
I'm actually wearing my earrings from one of our giveaways today, the Deathly Hollows.
Yay.
I had more earrings in a year, and I was very excited. I did not have to poke new holes this morning, so if you know, you know. That sucks. So they went right in. But yeah, exciting stuff. I went and saw Twisters on opening night. We've been talking about that the past couple weeks, so I feel like we need to discuss. I'm just gonna say it was great. My husband had very high expectations. Growing up, it was his mom's favorite movie, so he watched it like a ton and is like a very OG fan. So he didn't rate it nearly as high as I did. I loved it because it had that like 90s feel, and if you've listened to the soundtrack, every song is so good. Like, it is like the best movie soundtrack in a long time. And it had like this nostalgic and then a few other like homage to our, well, you're from Oklahoma, so like a ton of homage to your home state, but to where we live right now, they actually mention the University of Arkansas. The like one of the main characters, they're from Arkansas, and the Chris Stapleton song Arkansas is in the movie. So I was like, oh, it's always cool when like your home stuff is mentioned. So that was cool. The acting was great. I thought the casting was great. Story great. Like, I would go pay to watch it again. That's how I felt about it. So good. And Glenn Powell, thank you God.
Yeah. It's like,
anyways.
I only read a book or watch a movie for the plot, and it's like the plot is Glenn Powell, and it's worth it.
And it's like my boyfriend, I saw one that was like my boyfriend wanted to take me to see Twisters, and I'm locked in, and it was like the scene of him in the cowboy hat in the rain. I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm like, yes, locked in.
Yeah.
And then Jesse, when we left, he's like, you only liked it because Glenn Powell. And I'm like, well, that definitely was icing on the cake. Let's be real. But he is a really good, like, I'm comparing him to like our generation's Matthew McConaughey. Like,
oh, I can see that. Yeah.
Anyone But You, the chemistry with Sydney Sweeney, and then Hitman. I don't know if you watched that. That just came out a couple months ago.
I've seen that one.
That one's on Netflix. It's super good. And then Twisters, like big blockbuster. Maverick, Top Gun Maverick, big blockbuster. And he was in another rom-com a few years ago that I had watched. I think it was called Set It Up or The Setup or something.
Yeah, I think I saw that one too. The Setup.
But he's like, they're all from Texas. They're both from Texas. And I don't know. They just give off the same energy, in my opinion. But yeah, go see Twisters. I recommend it. Very good. For the whole family.
Yeah, we showed the boys the original Twister, I think Wednesday night, because I was like, maybe I want to, maybe I don't. No, it had to be Thursday night. And I love the movie because it is like action, but also romance, comedy. But the graphics and you can tell it's so outdated because it was made in 1996, and well, it came out in 96, so it was recorded in like 95 or maybe even 94. And there's one scene where the red truck is driving on the road, and there's like a combine, and the arm comes and hits the windshield and shatters it, and then the very next clip the windshield's perfect, pristine. I was like, stop it. Just stop it.
I will say the CGI in this, there was not one scene where I was like, that CGI is terrible. It was top notch, top tier.
Love that.
Which, it's 2024. Like, that's 30 years later, really. Yeah. Like, get your shit. It better be.
Crazy. Yeah, I would hope so.
I mean, we can make dragons look real. You can make a tornado look real.
Oh, for sure.
But
they're driving on the road, and this semi is like flying at them, and it lands on the road, and then the tornado picks the semi, like tanker truck, back up, but the red truck, the red Dodge they're driving, stays on the road. I was like, yes, I've seen tornadoes, take out one house and leave the next house completely untouched, but also like,
come on.
It's just not realistic.
They're 5 feet apart.
So, yeah.
I know exactly the scene you're referring to because I just watched it like last week in preparation of going to see the new one. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. I was just like, it was, very entertaining, and it was a great movie for its time, but
Mm-hmm.
not so much now.
Yeah.
We've seen much better.
Yes. Yeah, you guys will like the new one. I will say your probably complaint will be it's a little lighter on the romance. Like without spoiling. Like
Mhm.
it is.
Yeah.
It's similar storyline, but
Hmm.
it's a little someone in the
I
book
mean,
groups have been posting all about like tornado wrangler recommendations, and I need to
hmm
like get in there and look for those because I was just missing a little,
yeah.
little chili
Just give
peppers.
it a little flavor.
Add a little bit of spice. Anyways,
Uh,
you
Anything
want to?
else going on this week, or anything you saw on socials?
No, I have been seeing lots of Twister stuff. I feel like that's
Mhm.
mainly my social media right now. Is Glenn Powell Thirst and Daisy Edgar Jones. She's adorable.
Oh yeah.
She hid her accent very well. Like I didn't know until like the day of the movie that she's from the UK. And in
Oh,
the movie she even has a little bit of like an Oklahoma southern
I
and
like that.
she does a really good job. But I feel like that's all my social media has been besides some people like getting really excited for It Ends With Us and then
Hmm.
also Deadpool and Wolverine is this
Yes.
Thursday. So
I
it's just
think
like a big movie time.
I think I sent it to you, but Blake Lively posted on her Instagram, and it was like family picture, and it's like the It Ends With Us and Deadpool and Wolverine at the movie
Yeah.
theater. I was like, that's so cute. But
They're
that
like competing with each other though, because it's
yes.
like one weekend apart.
Oh yeah. But
I don't know who's
they'll
gonna win,
both perform
the
really well.
the nerds or the book talk girls. I don't know who will
I don't know.
win. I'm
Because we
participating
end
in
up
both.
yeah, we end up seeing both because of our husbands, and just I love like the whole superhero like
Me too.
genre. So like I don't know. And then
And
our
I,
husbands have to go with us to the movie. So
yeah, Jesse's just a movie guy, and if we're going, he's like, I want to go. And
yeah.
honestly, Jesse's favorite genre of movie is rom com, which this isn't
Yeah.
necessarily. I mean, it may have some comedy. I feel like Ryle's sister's kind of funny.
Oh yeah. Like I feel like she's the perfect person. Like the person they cast for that role is just the cherry on top. Like she's so
Yeah,
perfect for that.
yeah, no, I agree. So yeah, no, Jesse's down. So we're gonna partake in both, and so I'm sure we'll skew the stats a little bit on who will reign book
Hmm.
talk or nerds. But Wolverine, for real, is my favorite superhero in the MCU.
I really wonder if because they showed it to so many people at Book Bonanza, if those people will still go see it in theaters, or they're like, I've already seen it, I don't need to. So I wonder if that might skew things a little bit.
I would still go, personally, but
For sure, same. Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah, we'll see. Um, Also on social media, I saw that Instagram has this new note feature. I don't understand it. I don't know how it's going to help the algorithm. I don't know how or why or what who it benefits, but I guess
Yeah.
we'll try it out this week and see. Maybe I don't know. I think it's
I
weird.
tried to send stuff and it has me like make a note. And I was like, I'm
Yeah,
trying to like send it or add it to my story, and it's like the first thing
yeah,
that pops up now. I'm like, I need to figure this thing out.
yeah. I just don't understand why it disappears after 3 days. Like if someone does, like if I post it today and someone makes a note in 3 days, it disappears in 3 days from then. But like I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either. I guess
And
we'll
then
play
like
with it. We'll see.
everybody can see it on the post. Like it shows little notes like all over the post itself. I'm like that's like blocking the content
Yeah.
if you have too many of them. I think it's
The
weird.
ones I saw was like all up on the left hand side of the
Okay.
post. It was like dot dot. It almost looked like when you're looking at a TikTok and the
Oh yeah.
people's comments came. That's what it looked like, but I didn't realize you could move it everywhere else too. Interesting.
We'll have to mess with it this week and see.
Yeah.
As of right now, not a fan.
Yeah. It's just kind of annoying right now, to be honest.
Yeah. All
But
right.
if
Are
other people
we
are annoyed, they'll take it away. But
good?
yes, I'm ready.
Yes. Okay. So trigger warnings?
There is some sexual assault in Confess.
Yeah. And then, I mean, just death overall, like
Death.
loss
Yeah.
of parents and grief, kind of dealing with that. But
Cancer.
yeah, I think overall it's not too bad. I mean, there's,
Compared to some of the others, it's not at
yeah.
all. But spoiler alerts
Mm-hmm.
for Slammed, Point of Retreat, This Girl, and Confess. We
Mm-hmm.
gonna get in it. Do we
All
want to
right.
start? Dive in?
Yeah.
So, Slam series is 3 books. The first book is Slammed, so we'll start there, work our way through, and then wrap up with Confess. So, first of all, the first note you put in our group was teenage angst. So,
Yes.
do you feel like that kind of sums up this book?
Yes. Like, there was so much back and forth. It's like, yes, we're well in. Oh, we can't do this. Oh, yes, we're gonna do it. No, we can't do this. And it's just like so back and forth. And I loved and hated it.
Yeah. I am going to. I will say before I started this, research for this episode, I always look at TikToks and YouTube videos as I'm making
Mm-hmm.
my notes. And I like to listen to bad reviews and good reviews because I just want to
Mm-hmm.
hear the points. And I will say some of the same points were made for good and bad. And
Yeah.
this is the first series that I've actually seen that. Most of the time they're like totally different
Mm-hmm.
reasons why they like or don't like it. And this book specifically, the people who loved it because of Will's character, and they hated it because of Will's character. So
Yeah.
I think I thought that was worth noting. Very interesting. I personally didn't love Will's character. Like, he doesn't make my book boyfriend list. What did you think?
Yeah. No. First read, loved it. Gave all of them 5 stars. Second read, not so much. I'm seeing more of the like back and forth, but you kind of understand it once you get through all of them. Like, he's trying to do what's best for everyone, and he's trying to give her the space to grieve before she has to grieve. So like it makes a lot more sense once you get through all of them. But in just in the first book, you're kind of annoyed. Just like, why the hell? Why?
Yeah. Yeah, and I thought one booktuber, she was not on TikTok, I found her on YouTube, had a really good point. She was like, when you read a Colleen Hoover book, for example, you want something kind of realistic, unless you're reading Layla. You think it's like a real love story, right? Like Nicholas Sparks or just like any of these well-known romance authors, right? And so people like idolize this idea of love that she writes.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to see, I still love her, I still think she's a queen, but I'm starting to, us deep diving, see more of the points that these people have been trying to make that we were like,
Same.
what? Shut up. No,
Yeah.
I'm starting to see it. And in this book specifically, I kind of thought we might disagree here, so it's interesting that you're saying same. I purposely didn't talk to you about this in advance because I wanted, like, if there was going to be any varying opinions, it would be entertaining for this, for the listeners. But I'm really starting to see it, especially with Will, because she said, which I already told you, first read, I gave it 5 stars, loved it, but I didn't like Will as a book boyfriend, and I thought that was just my personal taste. But now that I'm looking back, I'm like, he was the one in control of everything. Like, it was very much insta love, right? But he was the one who always stopped everything, who always, like, had her at arm's length. She'd start to go on a date and he'd get pissed. He thought she was kissing someone else. He thought that he was getting assaulted. Anyways, the miscommunication in the first book, anyways. And he punches him because he's jealous. Like, you just start to see, like, number one, I think he has a little bit of anger issues. Like, hey, we all get mad about stuff. We all got issues, right? But, like, I think he's got a little anger issues. Like, not Tamlin level, but we got some. And, like, control. The whole story, it makes a little bit more sense, but I still don't think it excuses all of it. What do you think?
I think, and I kind of gathered it more in the last book, I think a lot of it was more of him being selfish than trying to be controlling. So,
Mm-hmm.
yes, there are those aspects where he's trying to control the situation so he doesn't lose his job and ruin everything for his brother and her family and all of that. But I think a lot of it is just him like wanting to be selfish because he makes so many sacrifices for his brother and everyone around him, like having to double up on classes, having to be responsible for a child that he shouldn't have to at 19.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can see it feeling controlling, but at the same time, when you're an 18-year-old, and I can speak from experience because my first marriage was at 18 and my husband was 21. So it's like you're looking to someone who's supposed to be more mature and more um, just kind of worldly, like knowing what the hell they're doing with life. You're looking to that person as kind of your leader in your relationship because men, kind of historically are supposed to lead the relationship and be responsible for like everything in the home, like as far as holding it together, even though we know realistically it's women that do that, just emotionally, socially, like all of the things. But on the outside, people just assume that men lead the home. And I think that's at 18 kind of where your brain is. Like you expect him to just have more answers and make better decisions,
Mm-hmm.
maybe.
I also think it could go the other way if it
Mm-hmm.
was a woman that was. I think maybe it's the
Yeah.
age. Because,
Yeah.
like, I got married 19. My husband was, he's 3 years. So, what would that have made him? 22?
22. Mm-hmm.
We're still married. Everything's great. But I definitely think you always assume that people older than you have it figured
Mm-hmm.
out. I
Yeah.
had this thought the other day, like, wow, I'm the old person that's supposed to have it figured out at my age. I think that plays a part in this too. And we've talked about this every single CoHo episode. These teenagers don't, they have way higher mental capacity than real life.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
in my head, I'm aging them up every book. So I'm like, a 17-year-old girl, 18,
Mm-hmm.
well, I guess she's 18, Lakin's 18,
Mm-hmm.
is not gonna, I mean, the way she reacts and some things, I'm like, yeah, that's her age. But
Yeah.
at other times, I'm like, what? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah.
Um, move on. So I think this was interesting that a lot of book talk thought that we talked about the control a little bit. Um, but do you think Will, like you said, forget the third book. You don't have his perspective yet. When you were reading the first book in the in real time the first time, did you
Mm-hmm.
get any sense of like him controlling her like with his classes and like challenging her confidence a little? Because Book Talk thinks that he challenged her confidence like throughout the entire book.
I could see where people might interpret it that way. I thought it was more of just like him losing his shit like all the time in her presence. So
Mm-hmm.
he's just very anxious and like trying trying to always have in the back of his mind that he's responsible for a child and anything he does is going to affect that.
Yeah,
So yes and no. Like
I agree. I never got like he was like making her feel unconfident. I got that he
mm-mm,
was just having lapses in
mm-hmm,
judgment because of his obvious attraction for her, and then he would like check himself.
yeah.
That's kind of what, and he just had like a little bit of an anger issue that he
Mm-hmm.
needed to work through, but it was because of everything else. Um, but I thought it was interesting. Like I said, it's not just one post I saw that on. It's like a
A
very
lot, yeah.
widespread theory. Yeah. But okay, let's move on. We have a lot to cover with 4 books, so I don't want to get too hung up just on the first one. Anything else to add to this book before we jump into the next?
I my favorite part didn't even have anything really to do with them. It was the pink balloons with the friend. I can't even think of her name now.
Oh, okay,
And
yeah, I know who
Joel,
you're talking about.
her foster dad.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to adopt you. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so sweet.
Yes. Oh, the balloons, that is cute.
Because she made her whole slam about like, my birthday's coming up and don't even think about giving me pink balloons. And then he comes in with all of these balloons and they've got words on them and
Yes.
or names of all of like her foster siblings, I think. And yeah, it was really sweet.
Yeah, I did like of this book. My favorite part of the whole book was probably the whole slam thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole poetry setting. I thought it was really unique. And that was cool. Cool to listen to all of those throughout the book, and obviously tied a huge part of their relationship, their first date, and
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more later on. So
Yeah, and then I really loved when he said, like at the end of his slam, he said, "I'll take the lick." Okay.
fresh.
And then so much drama happened after that. So
Yeah. Oh, the drama.
yeah.
Punches and all sorts of shit.
But also, fucking Javi, is a fucking douchebag. Like he acts like, oh, you know, I want you to be safe. I'm gonna walk you to your car, and then he's the fucking perpetrator. Like,
He
why?
definitely deserved what he got. Piece of shite.
Yeah, and I was kind of annoyed at how his dad dealt with it, like by not dealing with it, I guess.
I think that's probably one of the most realistic things for me in the book.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I genuinely think that's how some people would have dealt with that.
Yeah.
It's sad, but true.
Yeah. And then I don't know where it came from, but it was like a quote that said, always remember there's nothing worth sharing like the love that let us share our name. That's really sweet.
Yeah, that is sweet. She's got those good little one-liners.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we ready for point of retreat?
Yeah.
Let's talk about carving pumpkins, because I feel like I carve pumpkins a lot.
Oh, yeah.
The significance of that phrase, what it means.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like that, and I do think about that like after reading the books. Like a lot of people carve pumpkins, they call it different things.
Mm-hmm.
Procrastination or delulu, as Gen Z would call it right now. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a pretty significant part of this book, specifically.
Yeah, just avoiding kind of the pain of talking about something. You're just distracting yourself.
100%. I know it's not the same as losing a loved one, but I still am delulu about my dog from last year. It's almost been a year. But there's certain things I'm just like, nope, I still have his bowl, his bed. It took me months to get rid of the kennel. Very much just carving pumpkins. Like,
yeah,
I can definitely think every person alive can relate to that in some way or another. So I do like that piece when you can relate to it in the book. Yeah. And I think that's something that's really relatable. But we have another teen pregnancy.
Yeah. And another car accident.
Yeah, oh, I noted that later on. And another cop. Well, that's later on, but still. that's later on in the episode. But anyways, yeah, we have another teen pregnancy, which I don't feel like is the whole highlight of this book. That's like a little side story going on.
Yeah.
Can I just say who I think the highlight of this book is the neighbor kid, Kirsten.
Kirsten, yes, I loved her. That's one of my notes. My favorite part was when Kirsten tells Gavin to quit being a little bitch and just deal with the pregnancy. Like, you can't change it now. Like, get over yourself and support your girlfriend who is the one carrying your child. And like, you already knew you were going to marry her. So why does it, yes, it's inconvenient, but why does this change anything?
Right. I love her. She's quintessential. Sorry, I've been watching Pookie and Jet videos, so quintessential is at the top of my vocabularies right now. It is a classic Colleen Hoover side character that you just love. Now let's talk about Vaughn. Do you think Will handled that properly?
No, he's a fucking moron for not telling her right out the gate.
Here we go again with not fucking communicating.
And he
It's
even like
clear
has the internal monologue is like, should I tell her? No, let me wait until after these 2 weekends so we can have sex and then I'll tell her. Like, no,
Oh.
never a good idea. Never.
It could take 2 seconds to say, hey,
Yeah.
my ex was in my class. She sat by me, talked to me, and then anything that happened after that would have been, she knew about it. Not a surprise, not mad. The walk-in on the bedroom scene would have been, oh, he's trying to kick her out. No, I wouldn't have thought that either. But like, bro, just wrong place, wrong time. I get that it's like a habit, but like, I don't know.
Yeah.
He gave me the ick with that.
Yeah. Like, why would you even think it's okay to, if you're in a relationship, to ever kiss the ex? Like, anywhere. Like, forehead, hand, even. I think it's just a little over the line.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely didn't love that. What did you think of their whole point of retreat game?
I don't know. I felt like it was kind of just childish.
I
Like, they're
agree.
both
Like
in
it sounded
college
like
now.
blue balls.
Yeah.
I agree.
And
it was very
actually,
childish.
he's graduated college, so she's in college, and it's just like, but I guess he's going for his master's. Still, like, mom's dead. Just
Yeah, like I don't care if
fucking do it. Like,
I don't understand like the mom doing that promise thing either. Like they've already been through a lot. They're already proving it. They're already acting like adults. Let them fuck. I'm sorry.
yeah, I mean,
To be vulgar, like
the worst that comes out of it is you have another child, and you're already taken care of too.
yeah, and then one's just hanging about all the time. So
Yeah.
luckily
you
her mom
basically have
pitches
3
in
kids.
with yeah.
I did love where she kind of gave Will some perspective and was like, life doesn't always work out the way that you expect. Like, she showed him the video of Kirsten's dad proposing, and she's like, that was my love, and it didn't work out the way that we intended, but I am very happy with my life now. So,
And he's like, oh, that's
it's
not
okay.
her husband.
Yeah, he was like, wait a minute.
That's not the guy I met.
Yeah, because he's like, wait, you're married? She's like,
Yeah.
no, Kirsten was conceived immaculately.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a miracle. I do think that this is worth noting when Vaughn says to Will, do you really love Lakin, or do you just love that you guys are in the same situation? I hated her, but I thought that was a fair question. Like,
Yeah.
I think Vaughn's a piece of shit for running out when she found out about the little brother. Like, I get it. Like, I do. As someone who doesn't want children, like, I understand that. But at the same time, be a decent fucking human and just step up. You know what I mean? But I thought that was a really good point that she made. Like, they try to make him think that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
But then I was really, really annoyed with her and his best friend Reese. His friend's like talking to Will, for weeks, months after she broke his heart, and acting like, oh, they need to get back together. Everything's going to be good. And then he finds out he was sleeping with her the whole time. Like,
Yep.
what the fuck?
Yeah, the best friend did. And then
That
we
was
have, the kids setup, which that was my favorite part of the book. I thought that was adorable after the whole fight.
I actually got a little bit of ick from it because it's like that I felt was controlling. I'm like, I get that sometimes you have to step over some lines to like get people to just listen to you. Like, but at the same time, it's like, don't unhook the battery on her car.
Don't that was extreme.
Take her keys and trap her in the booth so that she has to listen to you.
It would have given me more of the ick if the kids weren't involved.
Yeah,
I felt like the kids being involved, it was more of like a parent trap situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like if it was just him, I'd have been like,
Yeah, and the way that he used Kirsten to like knock on the door so he could sneak in and try to get her to have a conversation, and the way that she talked Lake into like taking her to the slam so that she could grow her portfolio, and he's also helping her on the side. Like, I don't know. It was just a lot.
It was. That girl's going places, though. I need
Oh
a
yeah.
follow-up from this just about her.
Yeah.
You listening, Coho? We would love to see that.
The life of Kirsten.
But then we have another car accident. Now that we're redoing this, every book does have a or every series has a car accident.
Yeah.
I just got stunned silent for a second.
Yeah, even in the next, like in the confess, like, what the hell?
Yep. Oh, that's noted. That's in our notes. Okay, so let's go to this girl, if you're good on that one.
Okay.
This girl, personal hot take, wasn't necessary at all. I agree with this random YouTuber that she wasn't ready to let go of the characters and wrote another book. Someone else had said, I think she probably had a deadline or a contract to meet for books and just pretty much rewrote like they were on their honeymoon, recalling the stories that we didn't hear from his point of view. Although some of it we did hear from his point of view.
Yeah.
So I thought that was an interesting note, but it really just kind of, I think, wrapped everything up and showed that they work through it, they get married, blah, blah, blah. What do you think?
Yeah, I think, like, because I didn't finish all of this one. I got about halfway through, but what I re-listened to, because he tells her that he had to go on another date, like on a date with another girl, Taylor, and she reacts very much like a 15-year-old, not at this point a 20-year-old. She got very jealous and she was like, I don't like feeling like someone else could make you happy and we're only together out of convenience or because you felt sorry for me, which you didn't want for me. So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, that's a good point for sure. It just shows maybe some more realistic maturity level for the age.
Yeah. Because that's probably something I would have done even at 20. I was like, and who knows? I might have done something stupid like that out of jealousy.
Oh yeah, jealousy makes people ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do feel like this book didn't have like a whole lot of like there was no new revelations really that I felt. I mean, we already kind of knew everything. Was there anything in there you thought was like a big twist or surprising?
Not really a twist, but I thought it was interesting that like the day that Lake's mom found out Will was a teacher and stormed over there and was like, no, you guys are not going to do this. You're not going to ruin this for everybody involved. But then she went back over to get Kel after dinner and before she went to work. And that's when she told Will that she didn't tell him like outright, but he could kind of assume from just the way she broke down that she was sick and she would be leaving the kids on their own. So like I said, that kind of made it more clear why he acted the way he did because he understood. And I think he even says in the first book, like, your mom needs you, like before she even found out, but like, you need to focus on your family. Your mom needs you to be there for Kel and be there for her. You need to stop worrying about us. Like,
yeah,
just kind of let it go for now.
Yeah, I do think it was a good call out to find out he knew so much earlier. Yeah. Like his whole side of that.
Yeah.
For sure.
But then it's like mom was carving pumpkins for a long time, trying to avoid that awful conversation where she has to tell Lakin that they're about to be on their own.
Yeah. Can't even imagine.
So sad.
Yeah. Okay, well, anything else to add to the Slam series before we move on to our last book or favorite quotes or anything?
I loved when like from his perspective, Kel warned him, he's like, she won't share her coffee, she burps a lot and she leaves her bra everywhere. And he's like, I mean, if she leaves her bra in my car, like I won't be sad. But then he tells Kel that like we're not going to be boyfriend and girlfriend, so just kind of get that out of your head. And Kel's like, she burped too much, didn't she? And he's like,
yeah.
Yeah, that was it. And she left her bra in my car, and she's really stingy with the coffee. And he's like, I knew it.
The kid characters again are really cute in this.
Yeah. And I can, like, having two boys, I can totally see a lot of those interactions happening, a lot of those things being said, just like, oh, yeah, I knew.
Yeah. It was the burping. I knew it. Yeah. Super cute. All right.
But
Are we
yeah.
ready for confess?
Yep.
Okay. I have different feelings about this book. I liked it. What did you think?
I did love it. My first read. Diving into these again, like kind of like you said, I'm seeing more of what other people are saying, and I'm like, this is really immature. People are not communicating things up front, which I understand. You don't want to give your whole life story as soon as you meet somebody that you might have an interest in, but also like there's a lot of really important things that people need to know.
Yeah. I would say this is a great example of that, exactly what you're saying. Um, I'm gonna call out a few similarities that we've seen in some other CoHo books. Car accident,
Yep.
police having
Yeah. Bad
sexual
cop.
assault,
Mm-hmm.
which has happened in another book that we have already covered. And I don't want to say romanticizing abuse, but it could go whichever way you interpret it.
Yeah. Just shedding more light on it, I think. Yeah.
So, confess. We have OMG. She did make a big deal about the names in this one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And the OMG I did think was funny.
Yeah.
Like that his initials were OMG. But personally, I thought it was a unique idea to have the confess paintings or drawings, his art.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Super unique. And apparently in the actual book, there's art that's drawn. I listened to this, so I didn't get to experience that, but apparently it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what was your initial thoughts of the obviously both people are hiding a ton of shit. Like that's what I like the first few chapters I'm like both these people are sus.
Yeah. I mean they go on their first date, which wasn't really a date, right? Like they finished working at the studio where she worked for him.
Yeah.
And just kind of got to know each other, and then he promised to come back for another date and then stands her up.
Yeah.
Because he's in jail. And it's like, what?
But why is he in jail? For covering.
Because he's covering up for his dad. And
he's covering up for his dad. Yeah.
How can you as a parent let your kid do that? I don't care what position you hold. Like,
yeah, and then for the dad to like call and be like, what did he say?
Didn't tell, did you?
Yeah, like to check, but then also be like, maybe you can get community or like go to rehab.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
why would I go for
you can go to rehab
for a problem I don't have?
Yeah. Yes. He has a successful business that he built. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
He was inspired. But but he built this successful business not because of you and your fucking pill addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Dad's
it's like
a piece of shit.
It's where that guilt comes in. Like he felt responsible for the accident that killed mom and brother, and he gave dad all of his pills because dad was obviously depressed and didn't want to deal with his fucking issues. Again, carving pumpkins.
Yep.
So he helps him just continue getting more pills, and then puts other people that he cares about at risk of legal issues because of it. Like, so it's not just dad fucking up his son's life. He's fucking up other people's lives too.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, get it together.
Yeah. He's the one that needed the help. And
this is kind of a perfect example of our actual justice system. Like, if they had bothered, even testing him, Owen, they could have known, obviously, he's not the one taking these drugs.
Yep. Like simple drug tests. Is all that
Crazy.
it would have taken. But we gotta go back to the real problem. Apart from that, was the sleazy fucking cop.
Sleaze bag.
This piece of fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hated him.
literally the perfect book villain.
Oh
She did
yeah.
a wonderful job writing him as a book villain because if I saw a guy with that name on the street, I would fucking hate him. Because
Yeah.
this so yeah, that's the real problem is that he knew, and because of his like jealousy,
Mm-hmm.
let him do this. Instead of, he could get probably so much like clout from taking down this big hotshot attorney, right? But he
Yeah.
would rather be petty and take down the guy that the girl he wants. Obviously, at this
Mm-hmm.
point, I didn't get like super insta love vibes here, but definitely insta attraction.
Yeah.
And like it's obvious that there's shit going on with them, and he's jealous.
Yeah. And I feel like once you get through the end of it and see the flashback, like I feel like that jealousy was there with his own brother.
100%, bro has been
Yeah.
obsessed with her, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion.
Yeah. And it's like, so now you're manipulating her and controlling her life and withholding her child with
Yes,
who is your own nephew. Like, just how
that
big
was
of a
a
piece of shit can you
bombshell
be?
that
Yeah.
I did not see coming.
Mm-mm.
That she had a child. I knew she had a past because of how she like how it was worded in the book, like her wanting to make more money and blah blah blah. I just
Mm-hmm.
when it came out that she had a child and her boyfriend died, and then like the whole 15-year-old sex scene, which was a little weird, but I guess it made
Yeah.
sense in the storyline. But I just want to say that this happens in real life, and I
Mhm.
fucking hate people that use
Yeah.
children to manipulate other people. I've had it done to me. I've seen it done to other people. If you are the kind of person that has a problem with an adult or something that's personal and you keep your child away from them because of it, fuck you. I don't know what else I can say to that. But like, I
Yep.
cannot stand that. Now, let's say
Mm-hmm.
this person did something that you would feel would endanger a child, or deserved, like, didn't, like, had an addiction issue, like the pills. I totally get you not wanting that child around someone dealing with addiction or,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the case may be. But if it's something personal, like, they're pretty much manipulating her entire life and
Oh
dangling
yeah.
this child in front of her. And the fucking cop is a sleazebag.
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about this, obviously,
Yeah.
but
And Sylvia's no better. Like,
no.
she never, like, she has no emotion. Like, I don't know. And she's trying to use the child, I think was his name AJ,
Yeah.
to like replace Adam. And
Mm-hmm.
it just, all of it's just awful. Like
Yeah.
making her move to a whole different state because you want to control that. Like, fucking psycho. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
It's no wonder the cop turned out the way he did.
Yeah.
A fucking abuser. Anyways, spoiler alert. Owen gets into a fight with the cop because the cop. She does end up dating the cop though. Kinda.
It's
Like she
kind of that
kisses him
like
and stuff.
forced proximity, like ugh. Like she doesn't want to, but she knows it's going to be easiest for her son, for access to her son, and he's going to help her see him more. And
Yeah.
the way he
Which
like
is
went and looked at a house and was like, "It'll be great. It's a great school, great neighborhood." I was like, "Ugh,
I'm gonna
stop
throw
it,
up. I'm gonna throw up.
nasty."
And then when he asks her, like, have you had sex with Owen? I mean, not in those exact words. And she's
Yeah.
like, no. And then he like tries to, and she says no. That just shows you the fact that he asked and then tried, that he just
Mhm.
it was a pride,
Yeah.
arrogant piece of shit pride deal.
Yeah.
And yeah. Good thing, Owen. But if you weren't watching video, I punched the air, okay? Owen saved the day, but put himself in danger.
Yeah.
more because he's already going to fucking jail for his dad.
Yeah, I did love that she went to his dad and was like, dude, you got to fix this. You've already taken it way too far. You've already let him take the blame for so much that you've done. And you just stand by and accept it and just throw money at him and think that's okay.
Sorry, my phone just went off. I agree. Go off. That was my next point on my notes.
Yeah. I am glad that he finally did it, though. That he showed up, he bailed him out, and he's like, well, you're not going to see me for a while. You go fall in love with her, have a good life, and I'll see you when I see you, basically. Like, I got to go get my shit together.
Yes, you do, sir. Yes, you do. And I just want to say that is a good point of just life in general. Sometimes you just need someone to call you on your shit. And that's what he needed. And she was like, yep.
I'm a mom. I can do this.
Yep. Yeah, so I did enjoy that book way more than Slammed. I tried to stay neutral throughout all of Slammed. But now that we've covered it, I didn't really love it. It just wasn't. I liked the poetry. I'm just having a hard time with young stuff. I need, give me some 20-something-year-olds with good jobs that,
or even bad jobs. Like, just
bad jobs. Just give me some older people with some spice, you know?
Not teenagers having sex and then
getting in car wrecks and getting pregnant. That's, literally what we've been doing. I need Verity soon, just to cleanse my palate. I'm using Verity as a palate cleanser, y'all. Pray for me.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I think that's anything else you want to add? We actually got through those quicker than I expected.
Yeah. I actually didn't make any notes on Confess. I was listening to it while we were playing board games yesterday and didn't catch a ton of it, but yeah, I think my favorite part of Confess was the very end where he's in her apartment and he sees the painting on the wall that he did and gave to Adam in the hospital, and that was what started it all.
Yes.
Full circle, super sweet. Yes. Loved it. And the flashback where he just unwraps everything about why Sylvia looked familiar, because I was like, what the hell? How does he know Sylvia, but she doesn't recognize him? I was like, that was weird.
Yeah, I did too. I liked that didn't leave any unanswered questions.
Yeah.
We know what the whole connections were at the end.
And how he already had an issue with Adam's brother because he was trying to drag her out of there, and she's like, I just want to say goodbye to him. I want every minute I can get with him because he's dying.
Yeah.
That's really fucking hard for any age. And then you just want to be a douchebag about it. So he fucking punched him and was grabbing his leg, trying to keep him from stopping her.
Yeah. Yeah. He was on her side from then.
Yep. And it made more sense when she came into the studio, looking for work, and he's to see her again was just crazy, mind-blowing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which explains the beginning, how he kind of was. Mm-hmm. Or he's kind of standoffish is the word that I used. He was, but he wasn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
There was reservations, maybe. All in all, good week of coverage. Got more next week.
Yeah. So next week is the Maybe series. And what else was it?
Is it Never Never? We're getting close to It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us.
Maybe series. Oh, November 9th.
Yep. That was my second CoHo book ever. Yep.
Yeah.
And then we have It Ends With Us and It Starts With Us. The next week.
So exciting.
Yep.
But it can't get here fast enough.
I know.
Because I'm the longer and the more I have to read of these, I'm really not starting to love everything as much as I did.
I feel
when I read it all the first time.
Guys, you guys are hearing this live that we're agreeing on this, but I was walking on eggshells because at first I'm I'm a cohort. I love CoHo. I will fight anyone. And then by this, going back through these rereads and such, I'm Ooh.
I understand.
I also think that you develop as a reader. I think this
Hmm.
is something I realized about myself this morning, in fact, was that books that I loved when I first got back into my reading journey,
Hmm.
I genuinely may enjoy, but I may not love them. Like I looked back at what
Yeah.
I'd given 5 stars like in 2022 when I got back and I'm like, and now I'm like, these thrillers, which you're going to see a lot of book reviews on our socials, we're starting to do that more. I went through and made some videos today of some of my recently read ones. And I'm getting way more critical. I used to give 5 stars to everything, but I feel
Yeah,
like I'm
same.
like book cultured now that I'm like, you're lucky you're getting a 3. But I feel like I used to be like, I can't do book reviews. I'm going to give every. Oh, that was aggressive. I'm gonna give everything 5 stars, and now
Yeah.
it's completely changed. So I felt like I literally had this like self-reflection moment on this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, because like on Goodreads, I have all of my first reads and I rated them all fives. And then on Bookmore, when I'm like adding them back in through these rereads, I'm like, 4, 4.5, maybe 3.5. I'm like, I I feel bad for authors that see that and they're like, oh, I suck at life. And I can imagine they're like, am I even a good writer? Like, do I need to keep doing this? But also, feedback is good.
Mm-hmm. But
It
also,
makes
like,
you
keep
better.
going. We read it.
Yeah.
We read it. We most of them. Look, I freaking bought it. I'm sure. So like, keep doing it. Keep on
Yeah.
keeping on because
It's
we
like,
like
and
reading them.
the more you practice, the better you get.
Yeah.
So just keep going.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that is the end of this episode. Follow us on socials: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube.
LinkedIn.
What's the other one?
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Not LinkedIn.
No. Open booked, open underscore booked, at open booked, all of the variations on the different platforms. Go enter the giveaway, open-book.com or on Instagram. I think that's it. We will see you guys next week with the not never series, maybe series, and November 9th.
Hasta la
Bye.
vista.